this problem. But he's almost guaranteed, I can't remember his number, I'm just going to guess that it's a lot worse than 88% for African American men. And someone else said, I tried going to these interviews and I'm hired on the spot. Remember, these men are in Madison. So they tried to get a job somewhere near where you work. They tried to get a job where you work. You pass them on the street. This is not on this paper. It's not statistics. These are people that you see. I'm going to these interviews and I'm hired on the spot and they tell me I have the job, but then I need to take the day off, and it's just like, why? It's cancer. And then it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, the position is already full. Well, why am I here? You just told me I was hired. So we have to be mindful of class here. It is not. I will strongly suggest it is not only people of color that kind of thing happens to, at all. The bad thing is that the numbers show it mostly is, though. That's the thing. It mostly is. We need to change it generally because it shouldn't happen to any human being. But people of color notice it more because it's their uncle, aunt, brother, cousin, father, nephew, sister, mother. For child support, in Madison, African American men identified the following barriers with regard to child support. That the child support system often complicates the efforts of low-income parents to provide for their children. Now, I'm going to say it again. The child support system often complicates the efforts of low-income parents to provide for their children. There's no way I can explain to you in the 12 minutes Eric is going to give me. There's no way I can explain that. But please know, and if you don't understand it, go on, here's my plug, go on my website, CFFPP.org, and it will be explained to you there. The child support system, I'll say it again, and it is the truth. I know it because I've been studying it for 15 years. The child support system often complicates, makes it worse or impossible for low-income parents to provide for their children. That child support is, and that's the paper I've been writing for the last week, that child support is structured to be a punitive system for low-income parents regardless of their circumstances. And so, a man gets put in jail for non-payment of child support, and he sits in jail, he gets taken off his brand new job because of non-payment of child support. I don't see how that gets money to the babies. I have no idea how that gets money to let me say this. It doesn't. And remember, they get 27% of the money because he can make money. They just don't get it. The child support is structured to be punitive, and the men assume their responsibilities as parents, and the child support system causes undue stress. The men identified these issues. They said, child support made it just so hard to where it drove such a wedge between us. I think it still affects us today. He pays $100, she gets $32 in the mail, and there's a wedge and there's conflict. Why aren't you helping? And he says, I did send it. And she says, no, you didn't. And nobody tells them why that happens. Nobody explains to them why that happens. And one of them is a liar. If they take 300, they may send 170 to her. We went to court and she stood up in court and told them, well, he was doing better taking care of the kids until you all got involved. Can y'all believe I have to complain to people every day about this system that is clear? And the thing is, structure. The structure of the child support enforcement system is every guy you get on the hook, the state child support enforcement agency gets paid money. And please, let me make it clear. The child support enforcement system needs money, but not from poor people. But they need money because there is a woman who needs her child support and he's not paying. And somebody needs to hunt him down and get him to pay. But for a man who does not have a quarter, not a quarter, and she said he was doing something until y'all came along, He was picking up a job here and there and giving her money and buying shoes and staying at the house when she needed to go out and do her. When she said, it's okay, we got this. No, because they can make money off of him. Doesn't make sense. They also said when the man has no job, child support tries to, what's my numbers, Eric? 7. When the man has no job, child support tries to force them to pay even though they don't have it. Now, part of the law says, every law in every state says a man is ordered to pay child support based on his ability to pay. So that's why you see in the fancy newspapers that somebody's paying, I wish I could think of some movie star kind of person that people would know, but I don't know those people. But that he has to pay her $50,000 a month or $70,000, whatever. That's based on his ability to pay. I mean, he might be hiding some. But, Tiger Woods? Did they make him pay child support? He paying a lot. It's more than $50,000 a month, too. Okay, that's based on his ability to pay. All right. But the man who doesn't have a job, I got cousins. You know, you got cousins too. Yeah, I know. We got cousins. And they have a job sometimes, and often they don't have a job. And some of them never had a job. Ever. And some of them are trifling, and some of them are not. But that guy's ability to pay is 0. But he still gets an order. The amount of child support owed by those men who still get an order is $107 billion. Chances are they're not going to pay it. Chances are it's not going to get paid. But in building up that number, states were getting incentive funding payments, right? So it'll never get paid, but here's what will happen. If we wanted to help the child, we probably shouldn't saddle their father with a $40,000 bill when he makes minimum wage. He can't go to school. He can't do anything. He can't improve his skills or else he'll go to jail for not paying it. So he can't stop working even and live in somebody's house and let them feed him because unless they're going to pay his child support. He can't get his education. He can't do anything. He's just going to have to owe $40,000 until they put him in the ground. And that's not going to help his children. So this man says, they make you sign an agreement that when you get a job, you'll pay a certain amount of child support. If I don't get a job by the 30th day, that means I didn't keep my word. So since I didn't keep my word, they make another motion to suspend my driver's license. You know how helpful that is, right? Even though I don't have a job, even though I'm trying. Even though I don't have a job, even though I'm... And you can say, Jackie, he's lying to you. That's not how... Now, I know how the system works. So even if he's lying to me, I can come up with 20, 40, 50 more who are not, because I was there. Okay, Jill gave me this long thing, and I'm going to read it. Who wants to be without work? This is what the guy said. Who wants to be without work? Who's going to sit around? I mean, you may have some people who would do that. This is our trifling guy. See, he agrees with me. Some people are trifling. You may have some people who would do that, but how could you live if you're not working? You get frustrated because you go out here and you put in these job applications and they think from my experience, they think from their own experience. You can get a job. Everybody can get a job. There are a billion jobs in the newspaper, right? They think that you're supposed to be accepted somewhere. If you're really going to put out job applications in, why don't you? If you really are trying to put out job applications, then why don't you have a job? Is what the child support person says to them. If they check my background, they see I had done multiple jobs, good paying jobs. But if people are not going to hire you, what are you supposed to do? That's the question. That's the question. Here I am with a question. Not only a depressing, sad, horrible, boring question, but it is a question. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? But if people are not going to hire you, what are you supposed to do? They can lock you up, snatch your license, and then that makes it much better because your kids didn't get money. No, that's not what happens. They lock you up, snatch your license, and then you and your kid are in trouble. I promise you, the people that come after me, they're going to be much more fun. Much less depressing, I promise. Okay, this is the last one, Jill. What comes after that one? Oh no, I should go to the next one because I only have 1 minute. Okay, incarceration. In Madison, African American men identified racial disparities in the criminal legal system, how they've been negatively perceived and treated by various players in the legal system, and that they all know at least one person working in the system whom they respect. That they all know at least one person working in the system that they respect. And when I asked this question, you know, because I'm a rebel, so I didn't even want to ask this question. Who's good? Who's nice? I don't want to hear about them. But we asked it anyway, and everybody said there are some good people working in the system. There are some good people that they respect, and they know that those people are trying to help them. They do exist. Again, it's not the people. It's not an individual being racist. It's not about that. It has nothing, well, it may have a little to do with that, but it's not that. The key is structural. What do the laws look like? What about this child support law? Does that make sense? You know, the poorest families, it's the structure of the laws. So they all said that they know at least one person who they respect. You don't take a young black kid, 20 years old or 19 years old, who's going to college, commits his first offense, and send him to prison for 7 years. And then you get a white kid, the same age, and then you give him probation. When you are in Dane County, they got a 99% conviction rate because they set you up in the county jail and they make you cop out. That means they sit there until you say, yes, you did it, because they don't want to go through the trial and all that. It's not, oh, you're black and I want to take you down. It's, I don't feel like going through trial. You probably did it, probably. And so you cop out. And they tell you that if you don't cop out, it's going to be even worse. Now, I shouldn't be mixing up in this man's quote. I should just say what it says. But that's what I probably did to him in the focus group. When you're in Dane County, they got a 99% conviction rate because they set you up in the county jail and they make you cop out. They come with all kind of little stuff, and if you are found in that atmosphere, you don't know what's going on. There are a lot of people that you know could really fight their case if they just had the chance. No matter what, we are viewed as drug dealers, the worst of the worst. They believe that we all steal. You know every black person you see. If you walk in the store, the first thing the security is on us. First thing the security is on me, so I know the first thing the security is on us, on them. It's like walking into a courtroom where you're viewed as, he's the worst. You already did so much, so let's send him away. Well, the first thing they did, the judge, he was like, another Chicago gang member. I was not up in there representing all that. Why would you say something like that? They don't even know me. One woman is a prosecutor. She's in the juvenile division, and she's there to help the kids stay out of the adult system because she recognizes that most of the folks that come through look like us. So I really do respect her. I remember this one sheriff at the Dane County Jail who at the end of the night, before his shift was over, he talked to us and just basically said, I'm just like you. I did some of the same things you did. I didn't get caught. And if I did get caught, I was from a small town and I had family ties that got me out of trouble. When I was in Green Bay Correctional, I ran into several correction officers that treated you decent. They treated you like you was a human. They would sit down and talk with you, and you know, they treated you with respect. But they was the ones that were shunned by the other correctional officers. Now that's unnecessary. Is that it? That's it. So my point in this, in the whole presentation, and in depressing you this afternoon, is because that's my job. But also to just get the information out and bring it home to Madison. I mean, it is. Let's remember that we're with Mississippi and all those things. Let's remember about our income disparities. I know it's painful to think about, but let's remember about our income disparities and our educational disparities. And what are they based on? That's what we have to figure out. And I think it's structural. Thank you.